folks. This is AJ the CEO with another episode of Church Post Production, episode number 34. And what we do on this, what we normally do is I just let you peek over my shoulder when I'm doing all the editing and social media posting and website updates and all this other fun stuff that goes on behind the scenes at my church, so that we can spread the message beyond a typical Sunday. And that's what I normally do on here, and let y'all join along with me to see what I'm doing. And then maybe you might learn something, because again, I know I at least struggled trying to figure this stuff out. And I just decided to, hey, why don't I just set up a live stream every Sunday so that people can watch along if they wanted to and see what I do, ask questions, and all this other fun stuff. I am currently live on Twitch as well as YouTube for right now. And which reminds me, I guess I should try and share this with the For Me Facebook group. Let me do that real quick. But while I'm doing that, I hope y'all all had a great day at church. Everything was cool as well for us. Let me think. We only had 2 people in the booth, so it was me and Melvin. I kind of flubbed on a little stuff because I was trying to balance out a wireless mic and move scripture at the same time. So actually, not scripture, a hymn at the same time. So I was a little behind, but hey, such is the nature. Everybody is not perfect. So hold on. I'm just trying to share this in a group. And we're going to do, the group name is Modern Media Ministry Made Easy, which anybody can join if you just click the link below. Also, last week I talked about having the spreadsheet of how we document all of our services and all that other fun stuff. That is also, I've added that in the description as well. So anyway, let's cut to the chase, because again, what we've been doing is showing how that the more and more you do this, it really does not take that long to do. I think we got it down to, if I'm not live streaming this, I can actually get this all done in about 15 minutes. But since I take y'all along with me, it takes a little bit longer. And but we've been refining a lot of the stuff that we're doing. So let's go ahead and cut over to the computer here. I'm on my desktop, and you like my wallpaper, be original, be original. Don't worry about being somebody else. All you can do is be a second class somebody else, but you can always be a first class you. I forgot who told me that, but I like that. Actually, and before I get started, let me show y'all this one thing. Hopefully my sound is coming through fine so that y'all can hear. Hold on, let me make sure. All right, sound is actually coming through twice. I want to share with you the final video of what I've been talking about. If you've been looking at my vlogs, I've been trying to set up a Bible trivia type of game show at our church, and it is finally official. So let me go ahead and let you watch the video to it, because I think I used DaVinci Resolve for all this other stuff. All the products and stuff that we talked about, I've used this with it, and honestly, I did not use After Effects. This is all DaVinci Resolve. Maybe a little bit of Photoshop, but that's about it. So you know the Bible. Prove it.
Round 1.
In what city was Jesus born? In the parable of the Good Samaritan, who was the first person to come across the injured man? On what island did John receive the vision for the book of Revelation? Key and Peele. Where did the prophet Elijah meet the prophets of Baal to prove that God is the one and true God? Section 14 now. shut that down because y'all can't register because you're not going to physically be here. So anyway, and most honestly, after we did that at church, it actually filled up all the slots for our teams. So I'm really looking forward to that. Now all I got to do is order the hot sauces and get the wings set up and all that other good stuff. So just now it's just logistics. But I am really looking forward to that because it's going to be something completely different. The youth and the young adults are really excited about that. So there's another way that you can use media as well, not just this. So let's come in here now. We're going to do a new service. I am in DaVinci Resolve 16. I am not using 16.1, the beta. Excuse me, I haven't tried that. I might actually install that on my streaming system just to see if there's anything significantly different, just to make sure I'm on the cutting edge. But also, speaking of Blackmagic that makes DaVinci Resolve, I posted a video the other day where I did my initial reaction of the ATEM Mini. Guys, if you haven't looked at that, please go look at that because that thing is really exciting. A very entry-level but powerful entry-level multi-camera live streaming switcher solution for literally $295. I mean, I'm looking at trying to get one for our chapel because that's awesome. But anyway, come in here. We're going to do today's date on 9/15/2019. All right, and we're back on our dual screen. So I'm going to come over here and we're going to start loading up everything. I have everything still on my memory card, so I'm still going to stick with, I'm not going to copy anything over there. So where's that? That's G. Yeah, so this is today's recording. Drag that over. Yes, I want to change it to match. So it'll be 1080p at 30 frames per second. That's what I'm going to be setting this to. And then I'm going to go over to our quick resolve folder that we did. This is where I've been using the new broadcast package, which almost looks, actually, to be quite honest, I liked how much it looks so much. This is the same broadcast package that I've been using for my YouTube channel is what I'm using at church, with just a slight tweak in the colors. My color is actually pure red, FF0000, the hex code, for those who are interested in that. And hold on, I need to turn notifications off on my phone so it doesn't keep going over. And at church, it's C20000. Very slight. It's almost kind of like a, I don't want to say blood red, but just a richer red, like a deeper color. Anyway, we got everything loaded over here. It was the male chorus that sang today, and no one else came up on the pulpit, so it's just Pastor Cell. So this should really be easy. So let's go ahead, hit edit, cut over here to screen number 1, Control N for our timelines. We'll do full, and then another one for online. Not one line, but online. All right, come up here. We're going to change our timeline view to tab so we can have multiple. And for our video view options, we just want to see a thumbnail at the beginning of the clip and at the end. All right, let's go ahead and open up the full timeline. This is where we're going to do everything. Now, I have not finished doing the intro stuff, the opener. Maybe I should do that because I know a couple of y'all were asking about that. Let's try and do that. I'm gonna do that as a separate video anyway. But let's, you know what? Let me burn through this real quick with our old way, and then I'm gonna go back in our broadcast package, and I'm gonna try and make a new intro because I know I had promised some folks that, and people have asked about that in the For Me Media group, Facebook group, excuse me. So that's our intro here. This is our announcement intro, and that was the okay, that's not even, wait a minute, make sure I get this. So this is the old one that I'm gonna change. but this is what we're going to use for right now. So let's go ahead and drag this over to our timeline on track 2, and we're going to go 1 second in. Right there, another 1 second in. Let's put a marker there, and we're going to copy that, paste this to this. All right, so we already got that done. Now let's bring our video in, and we're going to make all our edits in the full timeline, and then we can move it over. Now, like I said, I'm going to burn through this so that we can go to try and make an intro, a brand new intro for the church, and I might actually come back and switch this out, which I probably will. So let's go ahead and bring over our video, but let's find the good place to start, because they started praise and worship later. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna start it right there. All right, and I think we ended it right where it needed to be. Yeah, so that'll be my end. So let's drag all this over. Fade this in 1 second. Let's zoom out. Audio is fairly consistent. I need to make a couple of adjustments. So let's come in here. This whole section right here is low, so I'm gonna bump that up to about 5. And let's look over everywhere else. See, and Pastor Sales was on his wireless the entire time, so we're on the last song if I'm scrubbing through here. Alright, so he starts right about here. So let's do a cut right there, and let's play it to see where he's at.
Oh God, stay with us, oh Lord Jesus, we pray. Because if it ain't in our heart now, we ask that you help us.
So it's still low, and my volume, my computer volume is at 50. All right, so that's really low. So he actually did not start right there.
Because if it ain't in our heart now.
All right, so I'm gonna move this to right here, because that's just a bunch of space right there, and we're gonna crank this up, crank it up to 10.
We ask that you help us put it in our heart. Put it where it needs to be. Glory, hallelujah.
All right, so actually I'm gonna move it to here, because you really can't understand what he's saying right here.
You know, they sung the song, it's in my heart.
I really do not
That's
know.
why I do it, because it is in my heart. Even though they mention that it's in my heart, we who...
Yeah, I don't know why it sounds like it's so low. It looks like it's so low, but I can hear it fine. So I want to be careful with this, because I don't want to blow people's eardrums out. So let's throttle this audio back to 5. And then this other section, let's put this up to, that was at 10.
mention that in my heart.
All right, so see, and you see it gets way too loud here. So let's do it down to 8. I want to just find the ending where he finished preaching that.
It's hard for your wife to leave you. Yeah, it's difficult for your sweetheart to say, I don't want to be bothered with other folks. spend time checking on your own deal with your fellow man and fellow persons as God would have you. Walk in Christ Jesus. I'm through.
All right, so there's the ending. So I'm gonna do my intro outro here. Let's zoom in. That's gonna be 1 second. 1 second. Let's fade this out to here, and we're done. Now I just need to, I'm gonna change this color so I know where everything is. And we just got to put his lower thirds in here. So I'm not going to go through and do, well, actually, I was going to say I wasn't going to do the lower thirds for the choir, but I can do that. That's not a problem. So we're going to, these are the new lower thirds that we made a while ago. So we're going to come in here that looks similar to the ones that are on my YouTube channel, because again, we're using the same package. So I just dragged it over here. So let's see what it looks like.
Yeah.
As you can see, we got to resize it. And that size was 0.42. And I'm actually going to come in here and redo these again because I'm going to change this to a different font. So that's 42% of the max size. And I think this was -500 and -400. All right, that's a good placement. So now all we're gonna do is put this 3 more times relatively close to the center and then close to before the end. And then we just play it.
Just make sure
We just wanna play it to just see the placement. That's fine.
I'm just gonna sprinkle holy
That's the
oil
middle one too.
on.
So we're good. Now I just gotta do the same thing with the choir. So they started singing right here. We're gonna go to the choirs, grab them, and that's the male chorus. Oh, and I know what I forgot to do. I forgot to fade out the end of these, but that's fine. That's 42, -500, -400. So if we zoom in, what I didn't do, so if I play this, see it shows up, and I don't know what. So instead of reversing, I'm just gonna put a blur on the end, like that. Oh, you can't see it, like that. I just put a blur on the end, and I'm just gonna do that on past the sales as well. Grab the blur, add it there. Blur at the end. And then one more. All right, so if I click over here and play it so you can see it comes up fine.
If you ain't thinking about me, if you don't have time to find.
See, it just fades out. All right, really easy, really slick. And honestly, that's it. Nothing else to it. I'm gonna come in here now and I'm gonna highlight everything that's in orange. Go to our online, go to that marker that we made here, paste, and then fade in the audio for 1 second, and boom, there we go. Everything is completely done. Like I said, the more you do it, it goes faster and faster. So that really didn't take any time at all. So we're gonna render this as audio only for our podcast. Then we're gonna render it again for the videos. And we're only uploading to YouTube. The sermon is going to YouTube. The audio is going to Wooshka for our podcast, which goes to Spotify, iTunes, and Google Play. The full service is going to Vimeo, our Vimeo on demand page. So we've cut out one place where it's going, but that's fine. All right, so first, let's do render this. This is going to be online, 09/15/2019. Going to say that to the E drive. Boom. Then come in here, change our timeline to full. Then we're going to change this to full. Same thing to the E drive. Now I do this because for whatever reason, when I try and do audio, it knocks out everything. So now I'm going to come back, do audio only, online. And I'm going to just call it podcast, even though it changes the name. So it's not doing video, it's doing audio only. We're going to change this to MP4 and at 128. Add this. We're going to render this one first because it goes faster. Let's go ahead and save. As you can see, it changed the name. See, A20001 podcast. Changed the name. So anyway, I picked this one. We'll start rendering that. And while it's rendering, let's cut over here. Let's go to Wooshka. And I saw somebody just asked a question, and I want to actually walk through that as well too. All right, let me do this, and I'm going to actually jump over to some comments that I'm seeing from videos that I've done through the week. I am still going to do our intro, outro through After Effects. So I'll show y'all how I would do that. So we're going to create a new podcast. This is saying it's going to be done in like 3 minutes. So here's the spreadsheet. That's a link in the description. If you don't have a way of tracking your sermons, you can download that one below, completely free. I'm doing it in Zoho. You can upload it, put it in Google Drive, or you can download it for Excel. It works the same way. I think I did up to 2021 or 2022 in the dates. So let's go ahead, copy the title. Then we do who preached, the date, scripture. All right, automatically increments, dates. This is clean, ain't cussing or nothing crazy. And we did that in under 60 seconds because it's still saying that it's going to be another 2 minutes and 10 seconds until everything is done. So while that's happening, let me go over here and jump over to one of my concerns with the new ATEM Mini. And if you have not seen it, please go check out my first reaction video. This is the box. Really awesome, really cool, very powerful. But there is one problem. Let me get over to a better, there it goes. There is no multi-view out. So even though I'm not using mine, let me turn this on so you can actually see. See if I can move my camera so y'all can see it. Hopefully I don't break nothing. No. All right. Whew. All right, my cables are limited here. Hold on. Turn my light out so y'all can see. All right. So here's the multi-view that shows all of my inputs. Let me move my mic. So this is the multi-view that comes out of my ATEM that shows all of the camera inputs that are going to it. It makes it really easy from a director to see what's going on. Hold on, let me get everything back in place. All right, and let me plug my light back in. Oh. Can't reach it. You see how professional that was? You don't see other people doing stuff like that. All right, so now the issue with this is with this Mini, it has no, and actually I hit the wheel. It doesn't have a multi-view out. You only have 2 mics in, 4 HDMI cameras in that can be of different resolution, which I am beyond excited about. Yeah, if you've been working with Blackmagic stuff, that has been one of the most requested things. You would think with how much you're paying for it, they could be able to do that. But anyway, then you have HDMI out, which is what you're seeing right now, the output of all the stuff mixed together. You have a webcam out. That's a USB-C, it looks like. Goes out into a computer, and it just shows up like a regular webcam, like this one that I have plugged in here, that I use when I'm gaming instead of having all this on. And you have network connection and power. But there is no multi-view out. Now, my thought is to solve that is, where's it at? One of these multi-views where it will give you all of this. So as you can see, you would have 4 inputs, and then it will output that into a monitor. So how would that work? Let me see if I can find one. All right, so let's go with the smallest one here. I think there's another one smaller than that. Yeah, let's go with the mini. All right, so with here. So what you would have to do, see, now it does HDMI out. So what I would think you would have to, now I don't know how much this costs. It's $185. Okay, that's not that bad, but you have to add some more stuff to it. So what I would do is, let me just put these side by side, how we could get a multi-view. And even by adding this and the other parts, you're still going to be in cheaper price. So what I would do is, hold on, let me open up another screen so I can have every single, wait a minute, I actually have one here. Let me do that. Just pretend this is the opposite. So you need one of these. You need an HDMI to SDI version of this. And yeah, maybe it's better for me just to bring that up. Let's go to products. And it is a converter, which I use all the time. And like I just had one here in front of me. So we need an HDMI to SDI, not that one. Am I missing it? Hold on. You don't need the super over the top one. See, all of these are 4K. I really hope they did not get rid of the other ones. Yeah, where in the world is it at? It was a, hold on, let me just make sure I'm looking at the right one. Because I'm also stalling. Oh, I was micro, not mini, they were micro converters. Excuse me. So that's the one I just showed you. But we need the opposite. We need this. We need an HDMI to SDI. And they're $39. All right, so this is what I would recommend to get your multi-view. So you'd have a regular camera coming out, HDMI out. HDMI in would go here. Dang. It might be... See, I had to think about this. Maybe the bidirectional. No. All right, this, it sounds weird, but this is what I think will work in this type of setup. You would need a regular HDMI splitter, and I think I've actually got one that works great. It's sitting around here somewhere. HDMI splitter. Yeah, this is the one similar to one that I got. What I would do is run HDMI out of the camera. Now, this is also not speaking for, I don't know the latency, the performance, and all this other stuff like that. I don't know that yet, of how many frames it will be behind and stuff like that plugging into the system. But go from the camera, HDMI out, into this. Dual HDMIs come out. One of the HDMIs goes into the jack here. The other one goes into an HDMI to SDI converter. Then the SDI out goes into this. And then you have this hooked up to a TV. So let's see how much that would cost in adding all the parts together. That's how you could at least get the 4 inputs. So let's just say we order 4 of these, right? And then I'm not going to add cables into this. We'll add this as well too. And then we need HDMI to SDI, boom, right here. You could get it cheaper. This is the one that comes with a power adapter, so I'll just say we'll get that. So you need 4 of those. No protection. And you need some SDI cables. So let's do HD SDI. You only need I use these Vipers that are good and they're cheap. Cause see, 1 foot, so 7. You might as well go for 3 foot. Get 4 of those. All right. So to get multi-view, this is what I would do if I needed to do something like this. So we would split out the signal from the camera. One cable goes directly into the ATEM Mini. The other one goes into this converter, where the converter goes to SD. SD goes into this. Then the multi-view will show all 4 images on a screen. That would be the solution. But honestly, now you add that on top of 471.29. 471.29. So we got 471.29 plus that's $295. And then say you add a TV. Why did I hit the button by accident? It was $295. And then add cables, HDMI cables. I'll say that's another $30. Plus a TV to see everything. You can get a monitor for that, say $150. So you're almost $50 shy of what the regular ATEM Television Studio HD is, but you don't have the web presenter built in, which will allow this to be connected to a regular laptop instead of needing an actual dedicated computer with a capture card and all that other stuff. You free up a whole lot of stuff. You don't need another computer just to control this because the whole device has the buttons itself. So you're looking at a full bundle of maybe $950 to get multi-view and everything there. Now, again, even at $950, and that's not including cameras, you know what? Let's go ahead and add cameras. Let's add cameras to that. Let's say we do the Canon R800 and say we get 3 of those. I didn't add tripods and none of that stuff. You know, I'm sure you can figure that out. So even with that, with 3 cameras, you're still at around like $1,050. You have your multi-view, you have the ability to stream, which is not including a computer, which I'm assuming somebody has access to, because you don't need a super fast one to handle that. I mean, that's awesome. And again, even if you wanted to, like I said, if you did the ASRock A300, which is a system that I built recently, you could build this. This computer would be more than fast enough to do your live streaming, and you could run Worship Extreme on it. And honestly, you could probably run ProPresenter too, because that's the same specs in that system that we currently use for ProPresenter on Windows, and it works fine. So if you added this, another $400, you have a complete 3-camera live streaming system with scripture and presentation stuff for around $1,500 to $1,600. That's awesome. That's how, hopefully, let me see off camera who that was that asked me that question. so that way I can give you your props on that. And I'm on the wrong page. No wonder I can't see it. Hold on. That is to Jeremiah. I'm sorry, I don't want to pronounce your last name wrong. Agini. That's how I would solve that issue, as well as, and there's somebody else. I can't even pronounce your name. Sorry. You have a Braveheart icon for your name, as well as some other people on Joseph Floyd. Completely agree. Lufzi, same thing. This is in Shawnette, this is what I would do to solve that. I think that would work great. Yes, it would add some extra money to the bundle, but at $950, or if you went with all the cameras like we talked about before, you're at $1,500 for everything. And I'm actually supposed to be meeting with a church earlier next week, and I think they want to get into live streaming and stuff. And if they have any issues, this is what I'm going to suggest to them. I don't know when this goes on sale. I've been checking everywhere to see when it is, because I would love to get my hands on this, especially if this is a church and this is their first time getting into live streaming. I love to help them and let this be their entry, because I want to see how this performs. Because if it does, I mean, the game has changed. First off, for multi-switching for $295, I mean, like I said, I gave the golf clap last time, but yes, Blackmagic, you did your thing. You did your thing. And maybe I should spell Colossians right. Really? Am I tripping that much that I can't spell Colossians? I thought that's what I had spelled. Whatever. All right, so let me just upload this audio here. Get out a second, and you know what? I shouldn't have started to render this. Hold on. I actually started to render this, which is gonna take a while to do. So let's clear this. I'm gonna save all of this, and while this is uploading, I'm gonna go ahead and open up After Effects, and let's try and make an intro outro, cause I need to replace the other one as well too. And I really need to make a new intro for our podcast, because it just starts with music. I like to have something like, hey, welcome to the Antioch Baptist, podcast where we do this. It is something. I'm working on that. And I did not forget, I still need to work on my own podcast. Like I said, I've been out the last 3 days. Didn't really get a chance to work on it, but it is still coming. All right, this has been uploaded. We'll create. Podcast is done. So let's mark this as, y'all can't see what I'm doing. The podcast is done. I just hit create, and there it goes. Give it a second to do its thing. I'm going to copy the URL. Under here, we're going to set this as yes. And podcast. Actually, I need to put that link in there. This is the link that's going to go on our website. All right, so all this is done. I'm going to close this out because, again, After Effects is a memory hog. I want to close out everything that I don't need. All right, so here is our media broadcast package. And let me actually go to the website so you can see exactly which one I got. All right, this is the package that I got. See, $24. You bought this package. All right, so let's go ahead and just let you see what it looks like. Let me turn the music off so I don't get hit with that. See, these are all the features. Now, when I go to pick a broadcast package, let me see if I can pause this. Let me rewind it some. All right, first off, these are openers here. So these are going to be the ones that I'm probably going to turn into our intro and outro. You have logos, or you can have a still image here for your logo if you wanted to. That's some typography. This is what I've used for announcements and stuff like that. As you saw in my last video when I was talking about the basics of live streaming equipment, this is the one that I use. I just sit back and think, it's easy to say you want an intro and outro on lower thirds. That's fine. But when I look for a package, I want to look for everything that I need. So like if I'm doing announcements, putting graphics up, putting a long text, something like that. Good here, an explainer, good text and formatting and stuff like that. Ability to customize the color is another thing that I look for. Transitions, stuff like this is cool. I've used all of these for a schedule. These are regular transitions that I use. Calls for everything that you could put out on your page for transitioning for graphics. I've used that as well. And, you know, this is what I look for when it goes to a broadcast package for anything that I'm using me personally or for a church that I'm working with. And this is what I'm going to be customizing for our church. So that's what it was. I will put a link in the description as well. And actually, I'll put it in the comments. Oh, wait a minute. Copied the wrong thing. Let's copy this and put it in the description so that y'all can see exactly what I have. So let's close out everything and we're going to go in here and try and edit that. All right. So this is what I call Antioch Media number 3. I'll give it a second because it's pulling up a whole lot of stuff. All right, so I've already gone through in here, and this is what I'm using as one of the openers for the end of our video announcements. So this is why you always got to start capturing a lot of train outside, a lot of B-roll footage, no matter what's going on. So this is opener number 4. Let's go ahead and look at, let's try, we're just going to, like you have just your basic generic logo here. Let me make sure I put that on auto. So from here, I would need to change the color because we're not here. We have that color that I was telling y'all about. So let me find where that is. So that's logo. I'm just looking for, it's not text. It's not that. Content effects. All right, so that's a gradient. So I think this is it. So what we use is 510000 is for the darker, rich red, and then we use C20000 for that. All right, so now we just changed that color, so that will work. Now I just look in here to mask to see if they have colors here as well, which they do. Let's match these. 510000. All right, I don't know what that second one is used for, but so I need to find out what this one is, and I'm probably gonna put, see, our logo isn't something that jumps out like this, so this is why I probably wouldn't use this, but it's good that I'm in here changing this while I can. So here, let's change the fill color. That's not it. I need to find where that box is. Oh, that's that box. Oh, there it is, broadcast. So we're gonna come in here, contents, fill color, change that to our standard C20000. All right, so that's literally what I would do to change this. And it takes trial and error just to look through. You're mainly looking for color to change that, but normally in the description it would tell you if that's changed. All right, so this one doesn't work. Logo, maybe this one could work. So I would just double click on this, and then we're going to change our website here. In the same way, we look for layer. I'm assuming that this is it. The plus, effects, fill. Yep, so we do C20000. But that's not it, because nothing changed. Contents, maybe that's it. No. Let's play it. Maybe I'm missing something. No? Shape. Fill. Oh, this is interesting. So what is that? Yeah, that's the shape. Oh, okay. Okay. Sometimes they have a formula that's built in here, so you can't change the color. But that doesn't look like that's it. Effects. Yeah, it is. So that fill color was there. Let's erase that. But it still didn't do it. What am I missing? If y'all know what I'm missing, please. I am just as much learning as y'all are when it comes to stuff like this. Oh, maybe it was a gradient. Maybe that's what I missed. Yeah, it was. So let's change this to 51. And then this one to C20000. Now I like this. Wish I could make the logo a little bit bigger. But hey. And I've been wanting to make a different logo design because the city sits behind us, and a lot of the shots that I use, you can see the city. So in my imagination, I see our current logo, but with like a outline of the buildings from Richmond behind it. That's why I think about. One thing I would also, this text at the bottom is not needed. So I don't know where that's stored at. Yeah, but that's not needed. But anyway, that's how it goes. So now it's just kind of go through and find out what I want to put together here, which I like. Is now it's finally changing all my colors. We have one more logo. See, that is our statement, but it's too big, so I wouldn't use this either. So let's look at the openers. And honestly, the way this is going, I might need to pull this out and do this something separate. But the idea is maybe start off with a drone video or something like that of the church. And I would have to go through each one of these items and make it into something significant. Like some of them are already there. Follow us at Antioch Verona. Some of these are just static images. Excuse me. And then we can do other events or something like that here. Some other stuff like that. And then end with our main, thank you for watching. Let's get to service, something like that. Which I think I like. So that's opener number 1. Let's see what the difference between opener number 2 is. Starts the same. Has more content. So this is, I need to change. Obviously this I need to change. Follow us is there. I might get some drone video services, praise and worship, something going on, because this is the video we started with. Auto save. So we have this place here where we wanted to change this as well. 2 more videos here, another statement, the drastic color difference, so that would stand out. So it could be like, join us. I could put a message here that says live every Sunday at 10 a.m., something like that. And you're just trying to think about what other places I could do. This would obviously change. 2 more videos of maybe like us evangelizing or doing something outside of just a church. And then it ends with this main video and a statement. So 2 could work. Let's see, 3. Similar to the same thing. I guess it's just the order. And actually 4 is what I use for announcements. So I have, excuse me, between 1 and 3 to pick from. And the concept is exactly the same. It's just the layout of the contents. Honestly, what it would make it be easier if I had video for everything. So whatever template has the most video will probably work best for me. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos right there. And then it still ends. And actually this is short, so I might actually use this one, number 3. So I'm gonna make this as a opener. Yeah, and then end with a flyby of the church with the logo or something like that. Yeah, and I think because this is going to take longer because I'm trying to figure this out, I'm probably going to have to do this in a separate video. Which reminds me, I guess I should have finished rendering all this other stuff. But anyway, look out for the other video because I don't want to drag you through this whole thing because I'm still trying to figure this out. But thank y'all for watching. Stand by for another video. Regular vlogs coming in tomorrow, as well as tomorrow because I'm gonna finish doing it today. And the vlog is mainly gonna be me flying and getting some extra footage and stuff like that. But anyway, thank y'all for watching. I appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you haven't, and share this with some other folks that you know are in media ministries. And like I said, we're trying to build a community of all of us learning from each other. Again, I didn't have a resource. I just started pulling from random people on YouTube, and I want this to be kind of like a place to where I can recommend to other places, or you can ask questions and go from there. So I actually had somebody reach out to me. I may be making a trip here pretty soon to help out another church a couple of states away. I'm excited about that, and I'm helping some other folks here locally as well. I would take y'all along with me while we're doing that. But thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for the prayers when I was feeling sick last week. Thank all y'all for the new subscribers. I'm glad y'all are learning something, and I can help you in any way I possibly can. Appreciate it, and I will see y'all on the next video. Y'all have a great afternoon. Later.